Today I have um, hold on, factoring with fractional exponents. So we have three problems, three examples here. The first one, x to the fifth over 2 minus x 1/2. So we start by factoring out the smallest of these. So the smallest of these, we will see that it's 1/2. Because if we divide on 5 by 2, we're going to get something pretty much bigger than 1/2, right? So we're going to have factor out an x 1/2. Because they both have x in common and they both have 1/2 in common. We can take this half out of 5 over 2. So x to the 1/2 power, that's what we do. And then we can take 1/2 out of 5 over 2, and that is going to give us x to the second power. Why? Because 5 over 2 minus 1/2 is x to the second power. If we multiply these two together, we are going to get this. Remember, when we multiply exponents, we add them. So let's confirm it with the calculator. We have 1/2 plus 2, 5 halves, right? 5 halves. So we are on the right track. And then we see that we have a negative x to the 1/2 power right here. So what will this times this give us? That will be -1. Because x to the 1/2 power times -1 will give us negative x to the 1/2 power. So now we have x to the 1/2 power times x squared minus 1. We can still factor this little piece out by doing some multiplication. We have x plus 1, x minus 1. This is just some regular factoring. And so you can do this. It's just some regular factoring. This is how we multiply. This is going to be x squared plus x squared times, this will be negative x, and this will be a -1. You see that we have a negative x here and a positive x here. These two cancel out, and we're left with x squared minus 1. So these are the things we have to multiply by to get this. So that's how we factor. X to the 1/2 power times x minus 1 times x plus 1. So I got these from this, and that's just how we do it. This is how you do number 1. That's how you do number 1. Check your work, make sure everything matches up, and that's good. Number 2, 4x to the -3/2 power plus 4x to the -1/2 power plus x to the 1/2 power. So what can we take out from here? We can definitely take out an x because they all have x in common, right? And which one's the smallest exponent that we can take out? It will be the -3/2, right? That will be the smallest exponent that we can take out. So we can take out an x for sure, and we can take out a -3/2 power for sure. So we got that. And when we take out a -3/2, an x -3/2 from 4x -3/2, we're just going to get a number 4. Because this times this is going to give us that, right? And then when we take out a negative an x to the negative 3 halves, sorry about that, an x to the negative 3 halves power from 4x to the negative 1 half power, that is going to give us 4x, right? Because this times that gives us this. Because there's going to be an imaginary number 1 here to the power of 1, because basically when we multiply this, negative 3 halves plus 1 is going to give us negative 1 half. Let's confirm it real quick. So we have negative 3 halves plus, we have a 1 there. Oops, sorry about that. Plus, let's try again. Negative 3 halves plus 1. That's going to give us negative 1 half, right? And we have a negative 1 half right there. So this confirms that this times this is that, right? And now when we take out a negative 3 halves from a 1 half, we're going to get a 2. Because you're just subtracting negative 3 halves from the exponent right here. So you're just going to get a 2, right? Plus x to the second power, right? Because this times this will give you that. Cool? Again, when we multiply exponents, we add them. And when we divide exponents, we subtract them. All right, so that is how we do it. And now we have, we can rearrange this as x squared. Let's just put this aside for a second. We'll come back to this little piece, but let's just focus on this real quick. X squared plus 4x plus 4. Does that seem familiar? This looks like a regular factoring problem that you guys might have seen in, I don't know, maybe high school or something. So you have x squared plus 4x plus 4. We can factor this by basically doing this. X plus 2 times x plus 2. This will give us x squared, this will give us 2x, this will give us another 2x, and this will give us 4. This is 4x, so this will give us x squared plus 4x plus 4, and it matches up, so these are the factors. So now we have, let's bring this down. We have x negative to the negative 3 halves power times x plus 2 squared. And that's about as much as we can factor this one out. So that's how we do this one. If we multiply this one by this, we're going to get that. So yeah, that's how you do number 2. Let's go on to the last one. We have number 3. Right, so now we have number 3. Parentheses x squared plus 2 to the 1 half power plus 3 times x squared plus 2 to the negative 1 half power. We see that they both have a x squared plus 2 in common, these two terms right here, separated by the plus sign. And we can also take out the smallest exponent. In this case, it's going to be the negative 1 half. So let's do that. Let's take out the x squared plus 2 to the negative 1 half power, because this is what they all have in common. And let's do some brackets here. And let's see. Okay, so what times what? I mean, this times what will give you this? This will be when you take out a negative 1 half power from the 1 half power up here, you're gonna be left with 1. So x to the second power plus 2. There's going to be an imaginary number 1 here, because this times this will give you this. Remember, you add the exponents when we multiply. And now, when we take out a x squared plus 2 to the negative 1 half power from here, we're basically taking this whole piece out. We're basically taking that out. So we're only going to be left with a 3. And of course, you need the plus sign and the 3. Close brackets, because this times this is going to give you that, And this times the 3 is going to give you that. So that is how you do that. So now we can rewrite this as x squared plus 2 to the negative 1/2 power. And we can basically combine these. There's a 2 here, a positive 2 and a positive 3. We can combine them to get x squared plus 5. So check your work. X squared plus 2 to the negative 1/2 times x squared plus 5. And that is how you factor number 3. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That is factoring with fractional exponents.